Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is, and I'm back with a sort of the middle of the week vent session. And before I get started, I would appreciate it if you would hit me with a like, a subscription, and turn on those notifications because I'm here twice a week. And my name is Jaime, and I'm ready to vent today. I'm bringing my vent a little early today because I'm going out of town for a couple days. Not a couple weeks, only a couple days. And going to New Jersey for a couple days for work. And then I'll be back and doing my regular time on Saturday. And so I'm just dropping one tonight. And plus I got some shit to vent on anyways. I got all kind. I mean, like I said, people just be starting shit. News is going crazy. People going crazy all over the cities. Civilization is getting more unstable by the moment. At least that's what it looks like. I mean, it's going crazy. I feel like we're in that movies. Like, we're in those movies now. Like, those movies that we see all this crazy, like, man, that'd be crazy if we'd ever see that. Or I'd never see that in my lifetime. Like, yeah, when I was getting like those, it's like, man, what would you do if you ever seen that, in the 90s? And now it's like the 2020s. And it's like, ain't nothing surprising me now, man. It's getting weird, man. It's getting weirder by the day. Weirder by the day, humans. I don't know if you feel me on that, but I am definitely, don't think I'm by myself on that one. I don't think I'm on the island on that one. But, like I said, I'll be back on schedule Saturday. So you'll just have another earlier event, 1 day early, a little gift. Or not, or another torture. So anyways, I've been reading around and I saw, as I usually do, and I saw this story that kind of touches close to home. Me being from Michigan, it's like some myths, like big myths, like one of the biggest myths of Michigan. And it caught my attention, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what? I gotta read in, and you start getting in and stuff starts touching like close to home. You're like, ooh, like, oh, I kind of feel that. Oh, I remember. Oh man, I remember that, and then, so maybe it's not such a myth, or is it a myth? The Michigan myth. And so people want to know what this Michigan myth is. Well, this myth is like something that's always been spoke of and always brought up and always been maybe promised. I don't know if it's been promised, but it's been like guaranteed and like saying this thing was going to go down. But it's the myth of the roads being fixed. That's right, humans. There's a myth around here, and like legend has it, that one day we will get our roads fixed. But it wasn't always an easy road, no pun intended. It wasn't an easy road to get there. But eventually in our future, our roads will be fixed. See, it wasn't that long ago. Maybe it was long ago. It was kind of a long time ago compared to, depending on how old you are. If you're like my age, you'd be like, oh, it wasn't that long ago. But if you're younger than me, it's like, oh man, that was a long time ago. So depending on your age group, it was a while back. Let's go with that. There was this one thing, they were always asking us to vote in and approve these things. They're like, hey, let's bring the lotto to Michigan. Let's do the Michigan lotto. Let's bring in the Michigan lottery, and, if we bring this in, all this money is going to bring in money for the education system. And we can fix all the roads. And so we all were like, let's get some of that. There, we can get some of that lottery money. Maybe we can just hit that dream, get that, hit that big bucks, hit that big jackpot. And then get our roads fixed so we can drive our new Corvettes. But oh, no. That wasn't enough. So then, they decided after the lotto, everybody was hitting it, playing the 3s and 4 digits, getting all that money into the state and all that, just bringing it in, poodles and oodles. You were like, yes, our schools are going to get revamped up. They're going to get, new books, new computers, new everything. They're going to be like robot teachers. There's going to be all kinds of crazy technology in there. You ain't even going to know what to do. Your kids are going to be so highly educated. They're going to make a rocket in auto shop. Or not. So, they thought that the lotto would be a good thing to do. But our roads did not get fixed. But it seemed like a lot of money came in because a lot of people invested in the lottery. I still play the damn lottery. And I never win like nothing. Like sometimes I'll get happy. Like I think the most I've ever won was like $14. And I like freaked out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I know when I was younger, like I gave my mom or dad, I remember I gave my dad, I think it was like a winning lottery ticket. And he won like a little bit of money or something. But I'm saying like myself, like I'm like, man, it was like $14. I was like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe that I hit my little couple bucks back. You know, I might have spent more than $14, but damn, it was still nice to get more than just your dollar back or like a $2 ticket. Like, man, I just buy another one. You know. So a lot of people put that money in. So like a lot of money came in just from the lotto alone for the education system and to fix our roads. Probably like hundreds of millions and hundreds of millions. You see the jackpots are like hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, even a small fraction of that would totally be something we could see noticeably. But then no, it wasn't enough. Then they wanted to raise the sales tax from 4% to 6% because they said that income would really be very beneficial for our education system and to fix our roads. But did our roads get fixed? No. Did we get new books? Maybe. Didn't it seem like when we were younger, like it seemed like every year I went up, it seemed like when I was getting out of high school in the 90s, yes, kids, way back then, you know, yes, younger humans, way back then, back in the 90s, like when Snoop was young, you know what I'm saying? Like back when Snoop was in his heyday. Shit was just way different. You know what I'm saying? Just was just way different. So yeah, our roads did not get fucking fixed. And like I said, our books just seemed like they just got cheaper and cheaper. You know, like I said, every year I would get up into school, like, what is this? It was like, first it was like this cool, weird, like thick, like it looked like that newspaper insulation kind of inside, but the book was like almost bulletproof. It was like this crazy strong book. You know, and then the book started getting like this more cardboardy covers. And then they started getting like cheap. Like we all got to reuse these books. So like they made us put a book cover on the beginning of the year. They'd make us cover our own books. Like, here's your book. Here's a piece of paper, or use some, a grocery bag, or use something. What else? You got to cover that book up. You know, keep it in good shape. You can do whatever you want on that paper, but just take care of the book. But even though the books was getting cheaper, it seemed like all the pictures like they don't look like Christopher Columbus no more. You know what I'm saying? So they all started looking like just like George Washington with brown hair. Like it was just like nobody looked any different. It was like the same looking dudes in my history books. Like, dudes used to have, like, long beards or some different types of hair. But no, everybody just started looking the same. You know what I'm saying? Even, like, Abe Lincoln, like, sometimes it was some pages where his beard was gone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? When did he get a fat face? You know, and you go back to the page, you're like, oh, there's Abe. You know what I'm saying? There he is. But it just seemed like as I went to school, all them books started switching up. And I wasn't ready for it. Like I said, back when Snoop was young, in the 90s. He probably still weighed the same. But he was like younger. Because now he's like old as hell. And he's still kicking it. Like Kevin Hart said, he's your grandma's favorite rapper. But he's still doing the thing. He's still doing the thing with his old ass. But I can't get off subject. Our roads did not get fixed. It's still part of this Michigan myth. And then after that sales tax thing didn't work, then they decided, let me see what I got over here. What did I write over here for this? What was the next one? Okay, so then they wanted us to vote in and bring in the casinos. Because they said all that casino revenue, all the tax revenue, and all the revenue from a bunch of revenue from the casinos would go to the education system and fix our damn roads. But it didn't fix our roads. And a lot of people went and put a bunch of money into the casinos. The casinos make a gazillion dollars. They're like making crazy amounts of money. Just like the lottery is. And just like the sales tax is. So far, there's like, okay, so there is the sales tax. There's a lot of money coming from the sales tax. Let's just say there's a bunch of millions, a bunch of hundreds of millions coming from there. Then you got a bunch of hundreds of millions coming from, what was the first one I said? The state lottery. The lottery is bringing in a bunch of few millions. Let's say that was bringing in a bunch of millions. And now they want to do this other one. You know, they want to bring in the casinos. And that's supposed to bring in a bunch of millions. A bunch of millions of millions. So my thing is, like, when you see the jackpots and you see the casinos rolling in, people just throwing in all this crazy amounts of money, it's got to be at least like hundreds of millions of dollars being made. Obviously, there is. And I don't know what percentage would be allowed to go for the schools and for the roads. But I'm sure any type of number, like in the single digits even, would do a big, large chunk of some, nice chunk of roads area somewhere. Or maybe some nice school shit. And you don't seem to see it. Our school system seems to still be hurting. It appears that way to me. Our school system seems to be hurting and diminishing. You don't know if your kid's going to go online or he's got to go there, or what day he's got to do this and what day he's got to do that, or what he's got to wear, or what he's got to put on his face, or what he's got to put somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You know what's going on. So, all this money so far and no roads fixed. I mean, we get some roads fixed. But it seems like they fix them with the cheapest shit ever, and then the roads already getting patched up, by Christmas. They're already putting that big ass lumpy shit that lumpy asphalt clumps that don't even fucking do nothing but make a bigger lump. And then when the ice gets in that one, the pothole gets bigger. Then we're just flinging asphalt chunks and then blowing tires out in our potholes. We got some crazy potholes around here, and they're working on it, but all they're doing is putting that clumpy asphalt shit in there. And they're trying to tamp it down, and they don't even make it level, man. They have dudes hanging out the back of a truck and just flinging handfuls of it with their hands. They only give some guys a shovel. You know what I'm saying? I feel for them guys out there working in that heat with that hot ass shit. They just be flinging it. So just be flinging it in the holes. And then just be fucking, there's a guy behind them we just stomping with my foot a little bit and then jump back on the truck. And then you got this big ass lump on the road. So it's you got partial speed bumps. Until you start breaking it down more, like I said, it's just crazy how they patch that cheap shit. And then I don't know how cheap it is. I'm sure it's expensive, but it just don't seem to last. The roads where they put the concrete around seem to last way better. You can see, the difference of the roads, man, and, the quality, especially when you're driving. Sure, the asphalt might be cool when it's fresh, but when you're on that side of that concrete, you could feel the solidity, the solid concrete. And then when they do a patch job in concrete, they cut the steel. Now they're doing where they cut the concrete out, put new rebar in, and fill it in with actual concrete. Not that clumpy shit. You can do that with concrete, and then you don't got that fucking big lump. Sometimes they might be too good with that saw, maybe have a little, sharp edge, and maybe they didn't make the lump, maybe it didn't fill it up as level, and then you might have a tire problem. But they will fix it after your tire gets popped. But it's still a better fix. It's still a better repair. And it lasts way longer. So I think we should go with more concrete roads. But now they want to add a 45 cents a gallon, to the gas we pump in our cars, in our vehicles. They want to add this gas in the cars. And they say that money will be helped specifically for roads. They didn't even care about the education system at the time. They were like, no, this money will go to the roads. They were like, what about the education system? Roads? So that's all they was hearing. Streets, we're fixing the roads, yo. So there's a freeway I travel on the way to work. And they had a section by Michigan Avenue closed off for a long time. And then they finally opened it up. It was it's already 2 lanes in that part of the freeway. Then it opens back up after you pass those little off-ramps. And it looks like they're about to close that area again after they just refixed it. They just redid it. They redid the whole area, the service drive, the fucking overbridge. You know what I'm saying? Now it looks like I'm seeing perils out again. They're going to redo the same spot. That's not fixing all the roads if you're redoing the same spot. That just means you fucked up the first time on the one you was fixing. Shit. Not to mention where I used to live, you had to drive over this bridge. And you have to drive over this bridge every day to get off this fucking place where you live and get back on. And it would be stressful if a boat had to go through and they had to open the damn thing. And it was just a bunch of hassle. It's just that alone. So then they had to fucking, the bridge got broke. They broke it and rebuilt the bridge. And they rebuilt this damn bridge. And then the bridge had to break down and then rebuilt again with less than, I don't even know if it was 10 years. So they had to shut it down, rebuild it. We're all driving on the thing. And they're saying, wait a minute. Well, you didn't redo the foundation on the bottom? They're like, no, man, we just put new steel up, new heavy ass steel. They're like, you crazy asses. Because the foundation, I guess, was crumbling down. And we didn't know. We're just driving across it la, 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 every single day. And now they got it closed, and now you can only use one bridge to get on. And that's just a big old hassle, too. You just got all these people piled up just trying to get on that damn bridge, which I ain't got to deal with it now. But it was still a big hassle for that shit. And they claim probably that money was supposed to go to that bridge, and it took forever to fix that bridge. But now they want to add money to the gas just for the damn roads. And I hope they fix roads other than the same roads they already fixed. Because, you already fixed it. Go to the next one. On to the next one. If it didn't work good, on to the next one. Let's get some of these big crater holes. Let's get some of these roads smoother. You know. And the freeway that I got to drive on to work, I also think they should raise that damn the freeway speed. The top speed on this freeway is 55. Yes, you can go 55 on this freeway. And this thing happens to go through like all parts of Michigan and Detroit, like all the way through like all kinds of parts of Detroit you need to get to, but it's only going to make you get there in the slowest way possible. Now, granted, if it's an empty space, if it's emptied out, a lot of people don't honor that 55, but I think it should be raised. They raised the 75 freeway speed to like 70, and I think they should do the same for this freeway because it just causes a lot of hassle. You see this freeway, and there ain't nothing but car parts all over the side. You need a spare part, and if you can match it up on your car, you can see it over there. But you're taking a risk, stopping your car to go get it, because there just be like just accidents on this road like all the damn time, and it just seems like all the time. And the road is so slow, I don't see how. But it must happen before I get there because every time I get on it, we just creep. It says 55, but we're doing like 12, and then we're doing 12 on the freeway, and you're just creeping, stopping, looking. Just all you're doing all the way going home. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on all the way down the freeway. And, so I don't see how the accidents can happen when you're going that slow. But I guess it must happen way up somewhere else because somebody thought they could, if I go this way and this way enough, I can probably get up to like 60 or 70 miles per hour for like 20 feet, or something. And I don't know because I used to do that. I used to get excited. I'm like, oh my God, I can go fast for like 11 seconds. Or 4 seconds, something like that, and I'm like, then I had to slow back down. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm not even worried about it anymore because we're going to be going back to 12 in a few seconds. So it takes you like 12, you're going 12. But I think if the speed was raised to like 70 or 65, it might, I might like change, some of those accidents because I think a lot of it is when people think the fast lane is supposed to go faster and everything's posted at that slow ass speed. They're like, oh yeah, well, I know I'm over here in the slow lanes. I'm going to just go into that fast lane and just slow down to the maximum speed. And, I think that's where a lot of accidents might happen. And then you got some people, don't want to wait when those guys are doing those, kind of super slow moves, the granny moves. And you're trying to wait for them to get out so we can, speed up. Some of them guys do that where you got to loop around and try to weave in, and then you see some things happen there when you try to squeeze in a spot you can't or something like that. And I've been known to have a little impatience on the road and, I kind of do my thing, but I'm not going to do that because I'm in a truck. I'm not going to try to do nothing I'm not in no little tiny car. I'm not going to try to squeeze into something. I ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not, but now that we're going like 12 miles per hour, it's just not even worth it. Because if I get in this lane, it always seems like that too. You're like, oh man, I'm going to get over this lane. It looks like this lane's moving. So as soon as you get in that lane, like this lane that you was just in, just like moved like way, way farther. I'm like, oh shit. Then you just get back in this lane and the other one seems to move. So it's like a chess game. So I just stick in one and pick it and just do 12 all the way home. Because the car in front of me is not going any faster either. And so it's funny. And it's kind of weird too. There's this one part of the freeway where it's going 12 all the way there. And then just like one piece of the freeway and is letting like 2 exits left. Like everybody just busts like 80. Everybody's just like, okay, bye. And then the speed limit is back to like a real, residential street, speed limits. But it's weird. I'll just like that little 2 exits, everybody just seems to just NASCAR through there. It's kind of bananas. But they claim to be fixing some of these roads. We'll see if they do. Because I wonder all that money they raised, where is it? Just where is it? And some other crazy news. So that was my Michigan myth, by the way, the roads getting fixed. There was all these scenarios where all this money was going to come from. Now they got this new one for the gas. And I don't agree with it. I feel like there's already some of that money. Maybe we should look for some of that. Maybe our governor or whatever, whoever's in charge of that money, should buy a few less leather jackets and maybe come and fix some damn roads. A little less leather jackets. More fixie roadies. Please. So in some other news, another crazy woman. No, I'm just kidding. The New York governor, I don't know if you have seen this. This lady was on this rant at a podium in front of like real humans. And they were like listening attentively to this woman like she was speaking some gospel. But it was like, I shouldn't even have said that. That was like a blasphemous statement. she was acting like she was speaking the gospel. They were like, she was asking like the people in the audience to be her apostles. That's kind of creepy if you're a person that's supposed to be a governor of a city. Like, man, you're no Messiah. You can't. I don't. And then, like, I don't know, man. That don't feel right to me when you see people go and like try to do those kind of things. Like, you see them cult leaders and all that. Like, people believe this one dude said he was Jesus. You know, and I'm like, what did he do? You know, and then you found out, like, oh, there was all kinds of drugs and meth and all this shit. Like, oh, okay. So when they was on the meth, he was like, man, he's just hooking y'all up, you know. They would all pass you over the cups, and they would be like, oh, this must be Jesus time. And it was really like meth juice or meth soup, and y'all was fucked up and started believing these crazy-ass dudes. But this lady was talking for real, like she wanted y'all to do that, be her apostles. You want to do that? Would you guys go do it for her? Would you be that for her? I don't know about all that, humans. I don't know about that. That's kind of weird to me. That's just kind of weird to me. And then if you looked at the video, like the way the lighting was, it was like a bad trip or something, man. It was like when you tell you not to look in the mirror because it looked like her face was all like moving and shit. Like the lighting was just really bad. That's what it looked like to me when they tell you not to look in the mirror and you do. And then you do and you're like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have. And that's what it looked like on her face at the podium. She was all like moving around, acting all weird and trippy. It was fucking weird. And she's crazy. I can't believe that people would even let her talk like that and be that kind of position that she's in as far as her, you know, governmental position. Governmental. I don't know if I just did that one. But you should buy some, but that one lady still should buy some less leather jackets. I don't even care. That shit bothers me every time you see her on TV and it's a new fucking leather jacket. I don't know why it bothers me so much. It's a lot of damn leather. In some other news, MGK's ass is like in it again. Like, I know I already went on him and talking about all his semen face, you know, when he was at the MTV Awards and his performance was all weird. Is it me? Now, I am an older gentleman, but I am familiar with some of his music, but Lil Peep. Is it me or is MGK jocking Lil Peep's style? Not music style. Straight up style, Steezo, his whole fucking like him. Is he fucking biting at her? Or is that just me? Am I just not seeing that, or am I like tripping? From the painted nails shit to the fucking clothes to all the pink stuff, like, man, that just looks like he's just rocking my man's whole style, and people are just not even catching aware to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think his music still sucks. I'm sorry, like I liked his rap way better than this pop stuff. Because everybody's saying he's rock, and I don't think he's rock. I still don't think he's rock. I apologize if you get offended by this. But I do like your rap music. It's not as good. It's not that good still, but it's better than your pop music. I don't like this pop shit. You should have just stuck with you words. I know you got stung. I know Eminem hurt you and evicted you from the rap game. I know he gave you a little kick in the butt and, suspended you from the room. But you don't want to start with some fucking rock legends, real rock bands. Real metal rock bands, real bands that are like legendary, like probably easily Hall of Famers, you know? So apparently there was an interview. I don't know if who said what first, but I guess the singer of Slipknot said a comment about MGK, I think, about him switching genres of music or something like that, which I don't really have a problem with that. Like, I don't have a problem with somebody reinventing themselves. If you're a talented musician, by all means, do your thing. Same thing with you, MGK. I just think it's not rock. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't do rock, don't do that shit. I just don't think it is rock. To me, it just seems more like pop music, not rock music. But anyways, I'll get back to my thing. So he said, he doesn't believe somebody in, switching music genres or whatever. And I'm like, man, I just agree with that, whatever. But I guess, I don't know if MGK heard that first or whatever, but he was on stage at a show. And he said something like, you know what I don't want to never do, or something like that. And he says, I don't want to be a 50-year-old band wearing masks, singing around on stage or something like that. And it was him like dissing the guys from Slipknot. So it made me to believe that maybe the Slipknot interview came out first, and then MGK made his comment. But you don't want, like I said, I understand you guys, you got to stick up for yourself and all that stuff. But I mean, it's like a legend. Maybe you guys could have made it, like you could have been the bigger person and made it into more like a joke. Because once that happened, I guess there was a few boos. Like the crowd was mixed. He had a lot of fans there. But some of the fans, I think, were Slipknot fans. And like they kind of infiltrated the crowd a little bit and kind of made it like where they were like booing through his, like a lot of his set. You know, going through his music set, a lot of guys were booing. And some of them were like turning around and facing away from the crowd and like flipping them off. And some of the people in the front row were doing that, like turning away from the stage and like flipping them off and, you know, yelling all these things to them and, you know, flipping straight up middle fingers in like all the photos if I could find any. But they were just going all nuts, you know, and, you know, it was a mixed crowd, like I said. But it all happened because of that band. Like he didn't, you know, that band, you know, he's got a huge following. And probably a lot of those people that listen to you probably even listen to him. Or not him, but the band. So anyways, there was fans booing. He started getting all like pissed off, started talking shit back to the crowd, turned the house lights on, tried to like insult some people. Then he was performing down like on the main floor, like off the stage. And then somebody jumps over. They were letting some of the fans kind of run around. They were kind of moshing or whatever. And one gentleman was probably a Slipknot fan, ran up to him and kind of shoved. You know, he did deserve to get in. You did go to the space. You didn't invade that personal space. So he ran up to MGK and shoved him. And if you're a security guard, he shouldn't even have got that close, if you ask me, if you're a good security guard. But MGK is like this tall, lanky dude, you know. So the guy runs up and, you know, shoves MGK. And I don't know what he yells to him. And MGK is ready to fight him. And then the security gets him. And MGK, I don't know if he does hit him, but, I see him throw a punch and swing at the guy. But my man deserved that, man. You came out there and invaded his space. He is working. You guys can yell and do all you want. That's what fans do. I mean, fans can be fans out there, whether you like the music or not. But you still got to respect that space. You know, if somebody's going to get in your area, you should expect some sort of retaliation. I mean, not I'm saying like you're like the toughest dude in the world or nothing, but I'm saying like you do got to, expect a consequence if you're going to go jump in them like that. But I think it's crazy because, like I said, it's a big band. And then another band, I guess Disturbed, got involved, and they came out in their performance with a mask, and like their crowd was yelling like FMGK and like all these things like that. And so now it's like, they're saying F Biden, now it's F MGK. So if they do a rally together, there's going to be some crazy F-bombs all over the place. And, but yeah, man, I think it's bananas. Like that's a huge ass band. Let alone it's a huge ass, genre of music where rock bands could all say that you ain't rock, and you might just get shunned out of some tours and try to do your pop music with a rap group or something, and go back to them tours. Might be kind of something like that happen, man, because I don't know if you learned your lesson, like when Eminem came at you, I know that really hurt you. Even though, like, I feel like your battle song was still, like, probably your best rap you've ever done. Like, it was that battle rap was great. I didn't think you won, but I thought your battle was great. And then Eminem hit you with the kill shot, man, and oh my goodness. That shit affected you, I can tell, because I remember seeing you were signing autographs on a video, and somebody asked you about it, and it was like a young kid signing your autograph, and then you fucking like slammed her marker right on her little girl's hands, because this dude pissed you off, asked you about the battle rap. Like, how did it feel when Eminem killed you on the battle rap? Yeah, right in mid, you were doing mid autograph. So, man, you wouldn't be, I would just like, don't mess with these dudes, man. Just go chill, just do your music. I must be tough because you might want to rap deep down inside, and then just say, fuck it, man, and be a rapper again. Just say, fuck it in the rap. And in my opinion, like I said, I got a beef because I think you're snatching Lil Peep style. Not his music style, like I said. I think you're and rest in peace, Lil Peep. But it's not. I didn't listen to a lot of his music. I'm just familiar with his music because I remember hearing it a lot when, he was doing the thing. Like, I just remember hearing it a lot. I forget, like, my son's friends and, like, other people was playing it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just think he's kind of biting that dude's style. Like I said, the whole look to me just seemed like it was like, ugh, like a Big Mac of fucking bite sandwich. In my opinion, that was Big Bite. And so, like I said, man, I don't knock you for doing your music. Do your music. I just wouldn't, go around just trying to like troll into starting beef with other musicians all the time. Don't be like a troll. Just do your music, and I think that'll benefit you, man. Because it seemed like you got a big following when you went to this pop music stuff. or pop rock or whatever this is, you know? But I think if you keep if you're like mess around with too many bands and starting too many shit, it's going to close some doors and pathways, I think. And you'll be like one album away from like Cher doing your remixes and shit. And by that, I mean, like I said, like that song you already got, that single you got, I'll Never Fall in Love or whatever it is. It already sounds like it's like a pre-made Cher remix. For real. Listen to that song, humans. I'll never fall in love. You can already hear Cher. You know what I'm saying? And you come up and I can't get enough of it. I'll never fall in love. Tell me you can't hear Cher redoing that song. You fuck around with the wrong band. Cher's be doing your remix album, yo. And I'm just looking out for you. This is like some advice. This is helpful. I'll never fall in love. Cher's coming. You don't want to fuck around, man. Like I said, just stay in your lane, do your pop rock music. And just don't talk shit to nobody. Or else you're going to get Cher remixes. Like I said, man, it'll be doing your shit on, it's crazy, man. Cher's going to remix your music, and that's going to be crazy. Then you're going to be on like Dancing with the Stars and shit. You don't want that. And so I was listening to, I'll leave you alone now, man. I'm going to go to the next video. Some of these new rappers, like I was checking out some of this new music, man, and like, I like a lot of the beats are crazy. A lot of the beats, whoever producing these beats are just like, man, y'all are geniuses, man. The beats are fire. But I just got like a question. It was like, I listened to like probably 10 different rappers. Okay, like 10 of them, for real. I'm not even exaggerating. 10 different new rappers. Not going to even name them all. But I listened to 10. I'll listen to this song. This is what his number one is. This is what his number one is. I just went through these artists. And they're like new people. Okay? I have a question. Do all you new rappers have to use auto-tune? And why? Why is all this new rap like sounds all weird and shit like a fucking, I don't know, man. This auto-tune shit like doesn't have to be, I don't think, on every song. You know what I mean? Like what? How about when you perform live and you don't have auto-tune? Like what if your shit goes down and then people got to hear you just going, and this fucking sounds like a fucking, a molested goat. Something like a molested goat on meth. Because your fucking machine broke, man. You should work on live perform. Like, we need new MCs. Like, there is MCs, new MCs. I did listen to 2 that were actually, like, MCs. They didn't start off with that fucking weird-ass fucking auto-tune shit. But I just think every fucking song I clicked damn near, except for 2, all right? It was like 20% came out. And they all used it. I didn't understand, like, it was bananas. And these guys were like on these top lists. And I'm like, okay, these guys on this top, I'm going to play this. And it was like, bling, 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 and their voices were all fucking, all weird. Like, it was just crazy, man. It's bananas. I don't know why all these new rappers just got an auto-tune. Is that why? Like, I don't get it. And then like a lot of these new songs, why do all these new songs like only 2 minutes long? Like, there's commercial breaks longer than these fucking rap songs now. There's rap songs in commercials about toilet paper and, like, diarrhea and shit that are better production and longer than these new fucking songs on the radio. These songs are fucking, like, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. You're, like, just getting into the motherfucking song. Like, oh, shit, I'm old. I'm rusty. Get moving. Sometimes there's 3 verses in a song. And now it's just like, fucking I'll repeat the first verse the second time. Like that fucking one song. That Zaza. Whatever that dude is. Whatever that fucking dude is. You know what I'm saying? He just repeats the first verse twice. And you think I ain't gonna catch that, man? I'm a lyric guy. I caught that shit. You just repeated like that was your Hot 16. And it really wasn't like a Hot 16 when you repeat all the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Plus that song, like I said, it's a badass fucking beat. And the song is all dope. And you got this weak ass fucking dude just like repeating himself. And it's only because his voice sounded cool to the beat. His lyrics was whack as shit. He didn't use auto-tune, but those lyrics was whack. The beat was fire. The lyrics was whack. Super da bubba. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this vent session. And if you did, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like button, smash that subscription, and turn on your notifications because I'm here twice a week. And my name is Jaime. And this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.